Let's take a deep dive into the Galaxy S24 Ultra with an unboxing and unbiased review. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Today we are going to do a fresh unboxing of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. This has not even had the seal broken yet on this phone, so we're going to see it together. We'll see what's inside here, and then we'll talk a little bit about the specs and why I'm so excited to give this phone a try. Now, right off the bat, I will tell you guys, I've been using this, which is the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I've had this for about 6 months now, and I hate it. I hate everything about it. I do not like it. In fact, all of the features that it's supposed to have and it's supposed to do, it's just not working good. Before we get too far into this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. If you've seen some of our content already and have not subscribed, we want you to join our community. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get back to the video. But the number one thing I don't like about it is app crashing. This seems to just have app incompatibility like crazy. Will the S24 have a lot of the same problems that the Pixel 8 Pro has? I don't know because I haven't even opened it yet, but we're gonna open this up. We'll talk about those specs, and then in a later video, I will talk about my impressions of this versus how I felt the Pixel 8 Pro was doing, but currently I'm not happy. So this is a very low bar to start from because I'm just not impressed so far. On to the S24 unboxing. The packaging itself is pretty basic. It's you can see it's got the outline of the phone there, which is great. But otherwise, it's got all of the phone details of the actual device that's inside here, and then some quick specs on the back. But really, when it comes to the S24 Ultra, you either know that you're getting it or you know that you're not getting it. They don't need to put a lot of details on the box to make you feel inclined to buy it or not buy it, because you already know if you're getting it.
Whole new way to do epic things, just like that. So, do you get it now? Whoa, there's so much I
Don't worry, I summarized it for you.
So in my case, we know we're getting it. So we'll start by peeling. Actually, let me do it towards the camera. We'll peel these off. It's always fun doing an unboxing, isn't it? I don't know what's inside here. It's gonna be a surprise. Brand new S24 Ultra. Now this looks like it should pull out, like it's got some stuff in here. I don't wanna touch the phone yet because that's the most exciting part. So I wanna see what all's in here. This is supposed to open somehow. There's a SIM popping tool in there. So the SIM popping tool is actually, everyone's got their own take on this. This one's a pretty interesting looking SIM popping tool. There's nothing else there. We do have a manual of sorts, but really it just tells you here's how to pop your SIM out. And that's it. The rest of the details obviously are gonna be, you know, it's on the phone. You're gonna figure it out. And then we've got a USB to USB cord. And that is very flat. Like the ends here are very, I like the style that they've gone with. On to here, this is the part you guys have all come for. Lift that up. The phone comes out. It's got, this is the titanium one. It's got a nice finish on here. We'll talk about the specs and everything in a minute, but initial feel for build quality is very, very nice. This obviously has the S Pen support as well, which I'm excited to have because I have not had one since my Galaxy Note of a long, long time ago. It does have this matte, it's not even a screen protector, which is too bad. So this is an actual black matte sticker which reveals the screen itself. That's really the whole unboxing, unfortunately. So let's talk about some of the specs of this phone. Now, the first thing is AI. Samsung has actually implemented AI in a big way. That's according to Samsung at their Unpacked event. The big unknown is how much is AI implemented. They say it's covered in everything. The big thing that you guys should be aware of is when you unbox your S24 today, all of those features are going to work. However, in 2025, Samsung is going to put a number of those features behind a paywall. So they're kind of implementing the same strategy as a crack dealer, where the first hit's free, but after that, you got to pay for it. So their goal is you're going to get so used to this AI tech and all of the things that AI will do for you on your phone. And then, surprise, surprise, all of a sudden, you can't use it at all unless you pay a monthly fee. Now, personally, I hate those business models, and I will never, ever pay a monthly fee for features on a device that I own. So whatever features I have today, fine, I will use them. But once they are hidden behind a paywall, I will not be paying that fee, and I will just accept that the phone doesn't have AI features anymore. It's something to be aware of though, when you're using your S24 branded phone, to make sure that you kind of know where you stand on this. If you get too comfortable using it, you're gonna have to pay for it later. But really for me, I'm more interested in what the hardware can do. This has a lot of upgrades that all of the previous phones did not have. We've got brand new display, we've got an update to the One UI, we've got new camera modules, we've got new build materials. Yes, this now has a titanium frame. Apple was doing it first, maybe, but Samsung's following in their footsteps, and that makes this a very light and durable feeling device that's also very, very sturdy. Some other specs at a glance: it features a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset. Graphics are provided by an Adreno 750 at 1 gigahertz. Has a 5,000 milliamp hour lithium ion battery that supports 45 watts of wired charging and 15 watts of wireless charging. And it will also do reverse charging at 4.5 watts. So you can flip this thing over, you can put your wireless headphones on here and it will charge your headphones. You could possibly charge another phone. I haven't tried that, but I think you can also just put another phone on there and use it as a charger for your phone. So it basically becomes a wireless charging pad for your other devices at a slower rate, albeit. Now the screen is what I got this for. This is why I went with the Ultra. It has a 6.8 inch Gorilla Glass AMOLED 120 hertz display, which supports HDR10+. It has a brightness of 2600 nits, and the screen resolution is 1440 by 3120 with 505 ppi, pixels per inch. That's the density of the pixels to make it super clear and fluid. That is a remarkable sounding screen, and we're going to be trying this out in our daily driving test in a future video. Of course, it has 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is about standard for this segment at this point in time. And onto the camera modules in the back. This is the thing that gets most people excited nowadays, is how good is the camera. Camera number one is a 200 megapixel camera with 1x zoom. Camera number two is a 50 megapixel camera that supports 5x optical zoom. Camera number three is a 10 megapixel, which supports 3x optical zoom. And camera number four is our 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. Moving around to the front, we have a 12 megapixel selfie camera as well, which should give plenty high enough resolution pictures to take and share on your social media, but also to print into larger prints that maybe you want to put on your wall or send to your parents to put on their wall. The rest of the features are kind of boring and techy, but it supports Android 14 with Samsung's One UI 6.1. Now, personally, I actually appreciate the Samsung One UI. Some people don't like it, so this is kind of a love it or hate it thing. If you've used other Samsung devices, you've used the One UI before, and you probably just didn't know it. Now, some of the reasons why I personally picked this phone. First of all, we talked about the specs, we talked about the cameras, we talked about a lot of things. And a lot of people who are not like super techie are wondering, is this the best phone? Is this the best phone? Is that the best phone? The short answer for me is really, pretty much all the phones nowadays do all the basic functions. They're all gonna do your social media, they're all gonna do emails, they're all gonna take pictures. Even though this has a brand new sensor module, that 200 megapixel camera sounds really, really great. And there's other guys who have done side-by-side comparisons of the S24 Ultra versus the Pixel 8 Pro, because the Pixel is known to have a good camera with good AI features to make really great pictures. The short answer is really this: if you didn't have both phones side by side and you only had a Pixel 8 Pro, or you only had an S24, or you only had an S23 or an S22, probably you're not going to notice a difference anymore. The camera is exciting for me, but it's not everything for me. The screen is what I'm most excited in. The 6.8 inch screen is actually a little bit wider than all of the rest, and I've got these big fat thumbs, and you can see if I hold my fat thumbs on the phone, when I'm typing and texting on the pop-up keyboard, that extra width, that little bit of extra width is enough to make it so that my big fat thumbs can actually tap that keyboard and get much more accurate texting and typing when I want. And that's the biggest reason for me why I'm getting it. One of the other major things that I like about this is finally we've got the flat screen. No longer is Samsung doing the curved screens, which I hate. And that's how I ended up with the Google Pixel 8 Pro, because it was the first new generation phone that was finally offering flat screens again. I've been suffering through the last few years of phones because I truly hate those curved screens. Samsung finally realized that people like me exist that don't want those curved screens, and have finally offered a premium phone with a flat screen. You don't have to get the S24 Ultra to get the flat screen though. The regular S24 and the S24 Plus also have flat screen, so if you don't need the top of the line features, you can save a little bit of money, get a little bit lower spec phone. But as far as flagship phones go, I'm super excited about this. More videos will be coming out with hands-on impressions after I've got my chance to use this thing. But right now, on paper, it seems like a really impressive product. But I want to know what you guys think. Have you got one of these phones? Have you considered one of these phones? And if so, post a comment down below what you're most excited about, what you like the most, or what you like the least about it, because I will consider that information for future videos to share with everybody else. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.